My youngest daughter, who spends her winters as a ski instructor at Alta, spends her summers in Alaska as a sea-kayak guide. This year, she invited my wife and I up to visit and take a tour. We made travel arrangements over the long Labor Day weekend, and I met my wife in Anchorage after our work trip. Then we made the long drive to Valdez, being sure to stop at some interesting sites along the way, like Wrangell-St. Elias, the largest national park in the U.S. We arrived in Valdez late in the afternoon on Friday and immediately went to Pangea Adventures offices, where our daughter works, to book our first excursion. Our daughter was out on a 4-day tour but had made arrangements for us to be on a trip Saturday that ended with us picking her and her clients up. The next morning, we walked from our hotel to Pangea's office, where we met our guide and fellow guests. The tour company provided rain pants, a rain jacket, and waterproof boots that went all the way up to our knees. They also gave us dry bags for our electronics and lunch. Then we jumped onto our water taxi that took us on a 2-hour ride out to the Columbia Glacier. Tim, who owns Pangea with his wife Christina, was our captain and did a great job navigating the ice-choked waters near the glacier. The other kayak guide company in Valdez never made it because of the boat crushing icebergs. We spent the next several hours kayaking as close as one could safely get to the western arm of the Columbia Glacier. As it stops before the water, we could get within a quarter mile. The eastern arm flows into the water and calves much more frequently, requiring one to keep a greater distance. My daughter told us to expect a lot of rain, and so we dressed accordingly. Being avid skiers, I've taught my kids there is no such thing as bad weather, just bad clothing. Fortunately, my wife and I brought the sun with us. The 2 days we spent kayaking had beautiful weather, making rain gear optional. At the end of the day, we got picked up by Tim and then headed to pick up our daughter with her 2 guests. With them on board, we headed back to Valdez, where we found a great pizza place. Sunday, we had plans to relax and do some hiking. Our daughter spent the morning cleaning up from her trip, and then she joined us at the fish hatchery, where we saw the local kittiwakes version of a lazy river, where they float downstream only to fly upstream and do it over again. Monday morning, our daughter made arrangements to lead us on a tour to Gold Creek with 3 other guests. This time we paddled from the harbor for 4 miles to a beautiful rainforest, complete with waterfalls and velociraptor hiding grass. I thought my wife and I did a great job paddling out. Then we had to make the 4 miles back, and I discovered I spent too much time exercising my legs and not enough on my arms. We had a great time, and Pangea treated us very well. I also think my daughter appreciated us making the effort to travel up to Alaska and see what she does during her summers. My wife and I always enjoy visiting the 49th state and encourage you to make the trip if you haven't already done so. Thanks for watching.